Hi folks, Donna Bob here. We're back in the Sauriarium today. We're not doing what I was hoping I'd be doing, but we're starting at the Kaperowitz Corral, heading toward a space I hoped I'd be working with in this video. But updates have been delayed, and I don't have the animal I wanted to put in there. So we're going to put in another animal instead. It's Deinocheirus. If you paid attention to the little title card, in this sort of wetlands area of the park. And he's going to be off on the left. On the right is the Kaperowitz animals. And there's one now over by the care building. Looking at us. He's going to head in this direction, it looks, at least a little bit. In the filming of this video, I noticed that they kept walking over those rocks there, and it looks kind of weird when they do, as you have seen. So afterwards, I moved them a little bit because they do seem to like to walk through that area. So a little scan across the habitat. It's relatively narrow and long, and down at the other end, you can see it in the distance. There's a viewing platform. And there's the guys next door hanging about in the middle of their habitat. Anyway, you may have noticed the start of this care building hanging out by the side of an exhibit in the background in one of the earlier videos. Well, it's been put to use now. Keeping this vaguely rustic theme for this area of the park. So we'll go up the stairs and take a brief glimpse of some undeveloped parts of the park. All the way up, hit our head on a post, and look back the way we came, and then go to the viewing area. And we've got a Deinocheirus right here. And one coming toward us. Gonna get any better getting toward us here? This is one of the animals that seems to have a slightly more developed animation set right now. Of course, everything's going to change when the next update drops with animal locomotion stuff and whatnot. Anyway, we have a long run here, which does, of course, mirror the habitat inside, in that it's long and skinny, and a good view along the length of the habitat. Gives you an above the animal kind of viewpoint. And way distance you can see the hotel. Okay, so go down the other stairs, and yes, you're right, I forgot to put in the handicapped accessible ramp for this habitat. That's something that I ought to go back in and do. Wanted to emphasize the wetlands take by using the reeds, which look remarkably like certain ornamental grasses, to line the viewing platform and a lot of the walk here. So even though you've got a fence to look through, if you stop along the path and tall grass, you still get a sense that you're in a wetland. So the bridge gives you a place where you can see into the exhibit, and we'll pop in because we're going to take a quick look through the care building, fly over the tail and into the building. This is built on a prefab I did of a keeper area with just the floor, some of the fences, and some props. I modified this one by doing the turn to the gates there, so that full slot down the center, which would be where they bring the animal in to care for it, had a way to get into, and yet it could open to either side of the building. And you probably noticed that the habitat does not actually extend around to the other side of the building. And that'll become even more clear at the moment, excuse me, in a moment, as we go up and take a look at the habitat as a whole. Skylights were incorporated for some natural lighting for the animals. And you can see that, like I said, there's an open doorway there and there's no habitat over there. You see a rock blocking a path. That's, again, part of those future plans that are on hold. And the general area of what the park looks like out on this end of the build. Some paths going to nothing right now, but staying with the theme. So in the future, that'll change. Hello. How are you being, noisy boy? This is our male. He's got the blue color on his bill. And got an itch, apparently. Anyway, I am filling stuff in right now, waiting for the late updates to start rolling out. And that means I'm not building the park out the way I'd hoped I'd be building the park out. And we will see what happens there. So this is an interesting animation that the animal has to sort of, rub its head on the ground, scratching its neck maybe, or just trying to get some mud on it or something to deal with parasites. I don't know, but it's different from what a lot of the other animals have, and it's kind of neat. I don't know if you'll be able to hear these guys do their clacky jaw, but that is also neat. To me, the level of animation in these guys really puts to shame some of the mammals in the game, which seem kind of boring. And while it's true, some of them don't do a lot most of the time. Reptiles and birds often even more so. Oh yeah, make a noise. And anyway, we're off to the videos, as you probably already figured out, because this is going to be a relatively short video today. You may have also noticed that there was no speed build, part because I was reusing that viewing platform, and in part, yeah, and then the guy did this. I'm not quite sure what's happening there, but definitely something went wrong with its animation sequence. But whatever it was, it turned out to be pretty tiring, because when he finished it, there was time to lie down. They were being pretty active while I was filming, which is always nice. Makes for more interesting videos. Hope that new animation will fix the food targeting, but that remains to be seen. Also, things like the ice block may not get fixed until they deal with enrichment, because the enrichment items, I expect, will be more tightly targeted rather than the food trays, which are quite large. Also hoping they will give us some small options for some of the smaller animals. This size is great for this big guy, but not so great for the little guys like Protoceratops. So I've got another video planned in Lost Kingdom next time. I will probably interrupt if the update does drop and push things back around, but we'll have to see how that all plays out. Once that update drops, I do plan on starting up a series of Build Along a Zoo to go along with the stuff that's changing in the updates. What happens to these two zoos, I haven't figured out yet. Anyway, be well, be kind to each other, and take care. Bye now.